Welcome to today's deep dive, where we are looking at something you've probably never really noticed. I mean, you look up at the ceiling of a massive sports bar, seeing maybe 160 different screens perfectly synced to a dozen live games, and it just feels like wireless magic.
Oh, yeah, totally. We all expect modern AV networks to just run invisibly, with the cloud and Wi-Fi effortlessly routing 4K video through the air.
Right, exactly. But if you actually peel back the ceiling tiles, you find out that digital magic is tethered to reality by some very heavy-duty, highly specialized hardware. So today we are jumping into a product page for a seemingly niche item. It's called the HuddleCamHD VISCA-100 Cascade cable.
Yeah, and it's $139, which sounds steep for a cable, but it actually exposes this massive and, frankly, sometimes agonizing reality of professional AV networking.
It really does. So let's talk about the hardware itself. What makes this specific thing so special?
Well, the specs of this cable tell a much larger story about how commercial spaces are wired. So it's exactly 100 feet long, it's terminated with these 8-pin D-ion male connectors, and it's heavily insulated.
Insulated how? Exactly. Like more than a standard network cable.
Oh, absolutely. It has a plenum-rated jacket. For anyone running wire through commercial buildings, plenum rating is critical.
Right, because of the strict fire codes.
Exactly. It means the plastic coating is fire resistant and won't emit toxic smoke if it burns. So it's legally compliant to snake through drop ceilings and ventilation spaces.
Okay, let's unpack this. So those 8-pin BIN connectors tell us this isn't just a dumb extension cord carrying raw electricity, right? It's essentially the ultimate fire-safe extension cord that lets a single joystick daisy chain and command a whole robot army of pan-tilt-zoom or PTZ cameras.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It operates on the VISCA serial control protocol, which provides this continuous closed electrical loop. So when the joystick moves, the voltage changes instantly down that 100-foot copper pathway.
And the camera motor responds immediately. There's just zero ambiguity.
Right, which is a stark contrast to how the rest of a building's AV system operates. But, I mean, a physical cable doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Yeah, it's part of a massive ecosystem.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the retailer, HDTVSupply, and the actual reality of AV tech. Because running 100 feet of physical cable through a drop ceiling feels incredibly archaic today.
Oh, for sure. Especially when we have Wi-Fi 6 and gigabit Ethernet. HDTVSupply deals in massive scale. They sell these huge matrix switchers designed to route high-definition video over IP to hundreds of displays simultaneously for, like, government facilities or those giant sports bars.
Right, so why are we still relying on a physical 100-foot tether when we have the technology to route everything digitally over a local network?
Well, the reason is the inherent chaos of IP-based networks.
Yeah.
A matrix switcher routing 160 TVs is dealing with billions of data packets. When you send a command over an IP network to move a camera, that command gets chopped into tiny packets.
And it shares bandwidth with literally everything else on the network.
Exactly. If there's even a microsecond of congestion, a packet gets delayed or dropped. In a serial cable, the signal is constant. On a crowded LAN, asynchronous traffic just creates timeouts.
Which explains the absolute nightmare scenarios in the customer reviews on this very product page. I mean, looking at a user named Mike P., he describes displays mysteriously dropping off his network after a few days of inactivity.
Yeah, that review is wild. He literally has to climb up and manually reboot the hardware because the iPad control app just fails to communicate with the system.
And he even mentions a networked LAN camera that spontaneously auto-deletes itself.
Right, and that auto-delete glitch is a perfect example of packet loss. The software layer sends a ping to the camera over the network. Because of LAN congestion, the camera's response packet just gets dropped.
Oh, wow. So the software assumes the hardware is dead.
Yes, it automatically purges the device from the interface. The camera is physically fine, but the smart network management just failed to see it.
So what does this all mean? We have the technology to route 4K video to dozens of screens simultaneously. But a smart camera still magically deletes itself, and we're forced to manually unplug a box because the iPad app froze.
That's the paradox.
Yeah.
And it's not just the software that fragments. Another user, Prasad R., complains about waiting 10 days just to learn an ordered component was permanently discontinued.
Man, the logistical fragmentation really matches the digital fragmentation. You are trying to get disparate software apps, legacy hardware, and modern IP networks to all shake hands without dropping the ball.
Totally. This creates a constant tension for you, the listener. Whether you are designing a high-end commercial facility or just trying to get a camera to reliably track a presenter in a local boardroom.
Yeah, the physical versus the digital.
Exactly. The smart IP-based layer gives you infinite scalability, but it introduces infinite points of failure. The physical infrastructure, like our rugged 100-foot plenum cable, gives you rigid limitations but absolute certainty.
It really shows that the wireless revolution promised to eliminate the messy wires, but we basically traded physical clutter for invisible network congestion.
Right. The physical loosh rarely drops a packet.
Which leaves you with something to ponder next time you rely on an app to control your environment. As we constantly push for more wireless, cloud-managed smart AV ecosystems, are we actually creating unnecessary points of failure compared to simply running a reliable physical cable through the ceiling?